Hi folks, Mr. Moore here. Just wanted to take a couple minutes to talk about how you can find reading material from the comfort and safety of your own home. So I will just show you kind of a couple different things and try to keep this quick. As you can kind of see now here on April 7th, independent reading and having some choice in what you get to read is really important to Mrs. Grant, Mrs. Benton, and I as your 10th grade English teachers. So that's part of what we're going to do on a lot of Tuesdays. If you have books on your shelf, if you have access to ebooks, audiobooks that you are interested in, that's great. Go ahead and read those. If you're a little bit unsure, I'll show you kind of a couple things you can find places to read. So there's two resources attached here for you to use to find reading material. Mrs. Benton and Mrs. Grant have them available to you also. And before we get too far, a reminder to do attendance today. But we will start here with this, where can I get independent reading material if I can't visit a library sheet? Great question. Probably your best bet is going to be the Cloud Library, which is at the top here. Mostly audiobooks, some ebooks, but also with a whole bunch of different other options. If you're interested in exploring those, you can gladly do that. But I will just open up Cloud Library and we will take a look at that one together. So here it is going to ask you to put in country, state, and a location. If you have an Anoka County Library card, you could use that to access Cloud Library through Anoka County. Since I live in Hennepin County, I could use my Hennepin County Library card to access their Cloud Library, but we can all, with our student ID numbers, access the Anoka Hennepin School Libraries. So we will pick that one. And we will give my slow internet a moment to take us to the next page. There we are. So here are a whole bunch of different options of books that you have to read. Anything from LGBTQ to historical fiction, horror, nonfiction. You could also browse a little bit differently if you use the Browse tab up at the top here. You can arrange by fiction, nonfiction, teen nonfiction, so on, and then they have subgenres and categories within that. Hypothetically, maybe I'm interested in dystopian fiction. It will bring up some different titles for me, and maybe I am interested in Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. All you do is click on it. I'm going to move my face. You click log in. You will enter your student ID number as your library card, and it will give you access to this audiobook. If you've checked out a couple books, or if you're going back to find your book later, that can be found under My Books right here. And that would just, after you log in, take you to a page of any books that you have checked out through Anoka Hennepin Cloud Library. Really, really easy to use. If you kind of have more questions about using Cloud Library, let one of your teachers know and we will help you with that. Otherwise, this how-to slideshow you should have access to will be able to give you some more directions also. These other options are things you could look at and explore if you're kind of bored or looking for things to read. If you're not a big reader or if you're not entirely sure what it is you want to be reading, I think now would be a really good time to be an informed, involved citizen and read a whole bunch of news. For being a Andover student, you get an online subscription to the Star Tribune, which is Minnesota's newspaper. And this document that I just opened shows you how to do that. So we will follow the link to Star Tribune sign up. We are not going to pay for it because the school has already done that for us. So we go all the way down to I already have a subscription. If you've already made a login, you could log in and do it that way. Otherwise, we will pick that. For last name and phone number, we look back at this direction sheet here and it tells us to insert these things. So I will copy and paste over Andover High School for last name and the school's phone number. For phone number, and it will find our school's subscription. Here's us. We accept the terms. It doesn't charge us to purchase anything, even though it says confirm and purchase. If you have not made a login yet, you will use this top link. If you already have made one in the past, like I have, you would use this one. You would open it up. Here's my login and password. If you don't, you would just put in your AH school's email, make yourself a password, pick your birth year, and put in a zip code. This is not the year I was born, so I would have to change that. And let's say you've done that and you log in. Now you can read, once it takes us there, it'll send you a confirmation email. Now you can read anything from the Star Tribune, from news, sports, local news, front page headlines, updates on the global health crisis. Other things you might check out, the New York Times has taken down a lot of its paywalls for articles related to the global health crisis, as has the Pioneer Press, which is St. Paul's local newspaper. If you're interested in reading poetry, the Poetry Foundation is a great place where you can find a poem of the day, search poems by categories, find a whole bunch of different poets you can look between, and just kind of spend some time reading that. So once again, I have these resources for you here on 4/7. Happy reading. I look forward to hearing what you read about. Let us know if you have any questions. All right, bye.